Everyone in this arena has a money stake in one of our famous couples as we play the game of celebrity gossip, Tattletale. And here's the star of Tattletale, Kurt Conway.
Hello, everybody. Thank you. Welcome to Tattletale. Nice to have you with us, and thank you. That was lovely. Felt very French. A little kiss on each cheek. It's very nice. We have some lovely people in back of me, too, and you're going to meet them right now. Winning money today for the blues section, Mr. Pat Cooper and his wife, Patty Cooper. Winning money today for the banana section, the star of The Price is Right, Mr. Bob Barker and his wife, Dorothy Jo Barker. And winning money today for the red section, Mr. William Shatner and his wife, Marcy Lafferty. Well, snappy dressers, are you ready to go?
Ready.
I'm wearing black because of my performance thus far.
No.
Well, it's a morning show.
Never mind. No. No,
Sorry about
I
that.
hasten to correct you, sir. I'm sorry, but we are an afternoon show. However, Bob and The Price is Right has moved
Beautiful segue.
to the morning.
Yes,
Yes?
have indeed.
Yeah.
How clever
We're
of us.
on from 9 to 10 in the west,
Yes.
and from 10 to 11 in the east,
Yes.
and the match game is right after us at 11 in the
Yes.
east and at 10 in the west. I'm getting it better
See?
and better
See?
every day, aren't I?
Aren't you
Bob?
sorry you mentioned that?
No, he's going to ask me about my record.
Oh.
Oh, yes.
What?
Yes. How about your record?
Hey.
7 years in prison. That's his
Isn't
record.
that incredible? He should mention my record.
Yeah. What is the name of that record?
William Shatner Live. You have to write to Hollywood to get it.
William Shatner Live. You write to Hollywood to get it?
Write to Hollywood.
Just say-
the Post Office Box, Hollywood here. And just-
Post office. Can we give that post office box? Can we do that? Yeah, we can do that. Where do they write?
Oh, you can say it?
Sure.
Box 1710, Hollywood, California.
Box 1710, Hollywood, California.
William Shatner Live.
William Shatner Live.
It's a
If you
two-album
don't get the record, that means he's been dead for 2 years.
But you can only write from 10 to 11 in the east, 9 to 10.
Here we go. First question, ladies. You're wonderful. Ladies, listen to this one. That's wonderful. In the ads for muscle builders, there's usually a bulgy muscle man and a puny weakling. That's true. If you had to have an affair with one of them, would you choose the bulgy muscle man or the puny weakling?
She has to choose, right?
Yes, she has to choose. Shh, don't say too much now. If you had to have an affair with one of those guys, which one would you choose? The bulgy muscle man or the puny weakling? Thank you. Goodbye. Present company excluded, of course. Pat.
Wow, this is a tough question
It is,
because
huh?
when I married my wife 15 years ago, I was 137 pounds, 6 feet 2.
Now?
I am now 190, 6 feet 2. So she had to fall in love with me. I was the little one that got the sand in the eye from the gorilla.
Right.
So she beat the gorilla up is what happened. And she's going to make love to the skinny guy because that's who she made love to when she married me. I was skinny.
All right. See, now that's very good deduction there.
And if she don't say that, there's going to be a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, it's a lot of sass. All right. But never mind that. The answer is the puny weakling.
She will go for the puny weakling,
Got
yes.
it. Here she comes. Patty.
Yes.
Would you choose to have an affair with either the bulgy muscle man or the puny weakling?
Well, I'll have to say the weakling.
That's right. You got it.
Atta
Weaklings
girl,
of
honey.
America, alive.
You married me when I was puny, right?
That's right. I thought
Told
he
you,
needed
she married me, I was like the scarecrow. It was embarrassing.
Yes.
It was really embarrassing.
Well, now, but listen, you're 6'2",
I'm 6'2".
and you weigh what?
I weigh 190 now.
Oh,
That's
all
why we
right.
don't make love no more.
That's,
When I get down to 137, there we go all over again.
Now she throws sand in your face. Okay, thank you, Patty. Bob, what would Dorothy Jo say?
I think that Dorothy Jo will choose the weakling, too.
Really? Why is
yes.
that?
Well, Dorothy Jo and I were high school sweethearts, and I weighed 108 pounds. 108 pounds, yes. And then...
I'm afraid to ask how much
that
Dorothy
was
Jo
stripped,
weighed.
you understand. Dorothy Jo, you talk about people you admire on the screen and so on. Until he gained weight, Dorothy Jo, she thought the sexiest man in pictures was Jerry Lewis. until he gave, and she gave him up for Don Knotts. She thought Don Knotts was the most exciting man in television and picture. And
I was just going to say, Jerry Lewis gained weight? Where?
well,
You know.
he's heavier now than he was when he and Dean Martin were together. Remember
Yeah.
how thin he was?
Yeah.
Oh, she thought he was so sexy then. Everybody else was crazy about Dean Martin.
Right.
Not my Dorothy Joe.
Okay, you'll say the Puny Weakling.
The Puny
Look
Weakling.
at this. The Puny Weaklings are doing great, aren't they?
Listen, as a puny weakling, I did all right.
Yes.
I want you to know.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't casting any aspersions on you, Bob, or Sand either. Here comes Dorothy Joe. Dorothy Joe, who would you choose to have that affair with? Would you choose the bulgy muscle man or the puny weakling?
Has Barker already done his routine about General Wainwright?
Oh, but I'd love to hear it.
Well, to tell you the truth, he knows that the little sickly skinny ones I consider a great sex symbol. So this is probably...
That's it. That's what he said.
No, I've got. Can I explain that?
You don't have to explain that to me, but
Well,
but
I will
to the
explain
people.
it. Dorothy Joe, when he was released from prison, she thought Wainwright just looked marvelous. You remember how thin he was?
Oh, but by prison you mean, of course, from the Second
From World War II, and
right.
he was so emaciated.
Certainly.
And she, and then he gained weight. She lost interest in him too.
See, it's a hard way to lose weight, though. You know what I mean? Thank you, Dorothy Joe. Marcy will say what?
I have this vision of these guys spending hours building their bodies to make themselves attractive to women, and here we have two, and now a third, I think. Woman is going to say, no, muscle builder is not as attractive as
Yes.
your standard
Yeah, so why do those guys
puny.
go through that?
What?
Why do those guys go through that?
I'd like to ask him. He's liable to punch me in the face. This is why.
So dumbbells like you won't ask me those questions.
I believe she's going to say that the weaker man.
Okay, the puny weakling.
Yeah.
All right. I wonder if it really would be that way. It'd be interesting. I guess it would be. I mean, you're not lying. You're saying what you feel.
Although, the guy, usually the muscle builders take care of themselves in such a fashion. I mean, they're such narcissists that everything about them is attractive, I would think. I would think it would be attractive.
Yeah.
There's another thing, those fellas work so hard all day on those muscles. They're so tired, they don't get much done later.
Yeah.
See?
Well, maybe so. Oh. Huh. Now listen, you guys, send your cards and letters to Bob Barker, not to me.
That applause was started by a puny weakling on the second row.
Right here.
He could barely start the applause.
Look, and the girl next to him. Okay, you'll say Marcy will say to puny weakling. Here she comes. If you were forced to have an affair, Marcy, with either one of those types of fellows, which one would you choose? Either the bulgy muscle man or the puny weakling?
I assume you mean at gunpoint, because I don't like either of those extremes at all.
Oh.
But I'd choose the muscle man.
No! Well, that kind of evens things up here for us, Marcy. We thank you for that.
Mind you, she said gunpoint.
Well, gunpoint.
No, I think it's normally ugly, but I would choose the beautiful body over the real skinny, unkept
puny.
body.
Yeah, we did say puny, I must admit.
You
Puny
didn't
is-
give any kind of middle
No, there's
choice.
no medium build. We're not crazy. Dorothy Joe and Bob and Patty and Pat split the first question in half, and we'll come back in a moment with question number 2, and you come back too, okay?
This week in game show history, legend Bob Barker is born. Crossword puzzler show The Crosswits debuts, and MTV's Remote Control airs its final episode. I guess they hit the off button on their remote.
Here we go. Question number 2. This is it. Worth $150 to rooting sections. Ladies, listen carefully. Picture 2 women getting dressed and putting on makeup to go out for the evening. One of them is you, getting ready to go out with your husband before you were married. The other one is you now. Which one will take longer to get ready? Okay? Picture 2 women getting dressed and putting on makeup to go out for the evening. One of them is you getting ready to go out with your husband before you were married. The other one is you now. Which one will take longer to get ready? Think it over. Goodbye. Good question, too, huh? Because I can argue both ways on that myself. What about you, Bob? What would Dorothy Joe say?
I think that beyond any shadow of a doubt, she will say that she took longer to get made up and dressed before we were married.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Well, at that, she was on the hunt then, and it was, she had to put on her boots and her jacket, and her red cap and
Those leather bracelets take forever to strap up, too. Murder.
she used to keep me waiting, and would
now?
come down the steps, in her home there, make an entrance.
Yes.
And now I come down the steps and make an entrance. I've been up there, combing the hair and getting on my street makeup.
Yes.
And
A little bass is all you need, Bob. Really.
well, that's right. I've tried that you gave me, and it's good.
Never
Bert,
mind.
it's good. Yeah.
Tell everything. Okay, you say longer before.
Longer before.
And we know your reason. Here she comes. Okay. Dorothy Joe, two ladies getting made up to go off for the evening. They're both you. One before you married Bob and one now. Which one will take longer?
Well, to get dressed about the same, but the makeup job I got to do now is, that's it. It's a lot longer now.
No, that's not what Bob said.
Honey, all I did was put on some purple passion lipstick, and that was all that I wore.
It's all he needed, too.
This is inconceivable to me.
Really?
It really is. I just can't believe what's happening to me.
Sweetie, I used to get dressed
Before
in
your
like
very
5
eyes, you're
minutes.
seeing a 32-year-old marriage disintegrate.
It's as if there were someone else answering the question.
I know how
There
it
is
feels.
someone else answering the question.
Yes, that's right.
She goes off and substitutes somebody else.
It's as if you were playing a joke on me,
Sorry about that, Bob. Don't fight, kids. Bill, what will Marcy say to this?
Well, I think Marcy will say that it takes her longer now, but the reason for that is because she knows a great deal more about the magic of makeup.
Good answer. See, now
And
there's an
so
answer
that
we
she
didn't
knows
know.
how to do this number and that number. She's, as
true. I
you
didn't
can
know.
see, a very pretty girl.
Yes.
And doesn't needs only soap and water, in my opinion, now. But I think that's what she'll say.
Okay, that's a wonderful answer. I didn't think
Soap
of.
and water. She's pretty
Soap
but dirty.
Have you had a whiff of Marcy?
That thought occurred to me, but I couldn't say it.
No, you couldn't,
I'm
but
so
Bob.
sick about my own answer, I can say anything now.
Here comes Beauty but Dirty now. Bring her on. Oh. Marcy, before you were... Okay, let's see. What do we got here? You were getting made up to go out for the evening, right? And there's two ladies, and they're both you. One before you married Bill, the other now. Which lady took longer to put her makeup on?
The lady before.
No, that's not what Bill said. Isn't that fascinating? Now, why do you say that, Marcy? What is your answer to that?
Because it's true.
Oh, I never thought of that.
I mean, I was more insecure then than I am now, and
Yeah.
took longer to get myself together.
There you go. See?
The older I get, the faster I
Now, see what Bill said. Tell her what you said, because
I said, Mars, that
I have more choice now, right?
that you more choice by meaning you had more ways of more
Yeah.
means, more
Different
knowledge at
looks.
your fingertips.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what more the
But
more
because
ways
of that, I'm faster, really. It's
it
funny.
isn't- oh, okay. Thank you. Everybody's wrong, Pat. What will Patty say?
Whoa.
Wow, this is a toughie because my wife, I must tell you, never makes me wait. Before we were married and now that we're married. So I'm going to take a little bit of a guess here. I got to say it takes a longer now because we have a young child is 7 years old. So I think it takes a little longer now.
Well, you mean your young child is making her up?
It's
Naturally.
called finger makeup.
Well, you know, it takes more time. My
the
daughter.
7-year-old makes a mess of everything. He's doing this.
My wife is in the bathroom making up. My 7-year-old is up near her skirts, you know. She
Oh,
wants this,
yes.
she wants that, she
Oh,
wants the
of
other
course,
thing.
of course.
You know,
I got it now.
You know, I have a heart attack. My daughter don't say nothing. She goes, you know, come on, Ma, I got a cookie.
Okay, you'll say now is longer, right? Takes
Right
longer now.
this second.
Right. Okay. Here she comes. Patty, you can get the whole thing for the blue section right now. Two ladies getting dressed, ready to go off for the evening, putting on their makeup. One is you before you married Pat. The other one is right now. Which one will take longer to get ready?
Okay, I hope my hubby is thinking along the same line. I worked hard at trying to get him. I took long, and I'm working harder to keep him, so I have to say me now.
That's it. That's what the man said. You got it. Got it all, too. Thank you, Patty. That was a tough one. We'll change places at halftime. Fellas, step to the rear. The ladies come out front. We'll come back with a second half in terms of order. I love this question. We've changed places after halftime. As you can see, the ladies are with me, the fellas in the back, and you got to play catch up to Patty and Pat. They got 2 1/4, and Dorothy, Joe, and Bob have 75, and Bill, good luck to you. Men, think back to your youth. What would you rather see again? Your first home, your first car, or your first girlfriend? Good question. Think back to your youth. What would you rather see again? Your first home, your first car, or your first girlfriend? Goodbye, fellas. We'll start with you, Marcy, because you need it the most here.
Yeah, it's a great question. His first home, his first car, or his first girlfriend?
Right. What would he rather see again?
Car, yeah, he talks about his first car. He remembers it. I guess car.
You think so?
Yeah.
Hey, boy, you really don't forget that one, do you?
No, he's off. I don't think much about mine at all. But
no? But men do, I think,
yeah,
maybe more.
I think his first car.
All right, you'll say his first car. It could go either
Yeah,
either
it could go
way.
either 3. Yeah.
True. Here he comes. What do you think you'd like to see again? Would you rather see again? Your first home, your first car, or your first girlfriend?
Don't anybody say anything, because I want to ask a clarifying question. As they are now, or as they were then?
Well, I guess as they were then, if you had to say
So
anything.
we go back in nostalgia, not take a look at...
Well, we said think back to what would you rather see again, which really kind of means that you would see it as it was, I would think. Your first home, your first car, your first girlfriend.
I would say my first girlfriend.
No. Fascinating. Yeah, Marcy said your first car.
It's a wreck. So was my girlfriend.
So was... How about your first girlfriend in your first car? That would be a good one. Sorry about that. Do you remember her? Do you remember her name?
No, I don't. That's why I'd like
That's why I'd like to go back. Okay. Sorry about that. Patty, what will Pat say?
Well, I know it's not his home. And his first girlfriend looked like Edward G. Robinson with curls.
That good, eh?
So it's got to be his car.
His first car.
Let's hope.
You know what it was?
It was a green hoe that looked like a Hornet. What did they call it?
The Green Hornet.
What
is what they call it.
What was that car called? The Green what? I don't know.
A what? A Hornet. There was a car called
Was
a
there
Hornet.
a Green Hornet? I don't know. I know it was.
Yeah.
I think it was green though. You know.
A Pontiac. Was a Pontiac a Hornet? A Hudson. The Hudson Hornet.
Oh, maybe that's that.
That's what
yeah.
it was, maybe.
Yeah.
All right, here he comes. Let's find out. Pat, we're thinking back to your youth. Excuse me, did I scare you there? Yeah. What would you rather see again? Your first home, your first car, or your first girlfriend?
This is the easiest, I think, of the whole week that I'm going to be on this. Let me just say this whole sentence.
Okay.
My first car to run over my first girlfriend.
What's your answer?
My first car.
That's it. You got it. You got everything so far. Thank you, Pat. Dorothy Joe, what do you think Bob would rather see? His first home, his first car, or his first girlfriend?
I don't think he'd have any interest in seeing any of them at all. No. Because he, you know, his first home, he left when he was about 6 weeks old, and his first car, we didn't get till after we'd been married for a long time, and we remembered very well.
Really?
And his first girlfriend was probably some little Indian girl up on the Indian reservation. And
well, he's not that
his
old.
name was Caroline. Oh, well, they, you know, we weren't at war with him or anything. But I bet he'd rather see that girl.
He'd like to see
I
the
can't
girl.
think of why he would want to see the other stuff.
Okay, here he comes. It's the first girl. Bob, thinking back to your youth, would you rather see again your first home, your first car, or your first girlfriend?
Well, Banana Section, don't get your hopes up, because this is an impossible question for me to answer, let alone agree with what Dorothy Joe may have predicted. I will have to say my home, my first home.
No, interesting. Dorothy Joe said your first girlfriend. Why did you say your home, Bob?
Well, first of all, I didn't have a car until I was an adult. Secondly, Dorothy Joe was really my first girlfriend of any...
How about that Caroline?
Well, now, don't mention that on the air.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, Bob. We understand your
Who was
answer.
that girl in Springfield?
Caroline was a little girl up in South Dakota, and we were friends. And there was a girl.
Who was that girl, like Emma Sue Snow or something?
Emma Sue
This
Snow.
is fascinating, folks. We have to get moving. Patty and Pat get all the money for the blues section, and we'll come back in just a moment with a $300 question. See what we can make of all this. Keep it steady.
The Buzzer Academy of Hosting presents Making a Graceful Exit.
We bond a fit a dude.
Keep it right here on Buzzer.
Okay, we have to go very quickly, and so we're going to do that. This one is worth $300, and if you listen carefully, fellas, we'll move it right along. When you both get back from a vacation together, which of you is usually the first one to use the telephone? You or your wife? Good question. Back from the vacation, which one of you is usually the first one to use the telephone? Off you go. We'll start with you, Marcy.
Well, this is a cinch.
Aha.
Bill.
He's the one.
Absolutely.
Right to the phone.
I hate the phone.
And he doesn't.
Oh, he may hate it, but he's
on
always
it.
on it.
Here he comes. Bill, which one of you is first to the phone, you or Marcy?
I am.
That's it. You got it. You're on the boards. Dorothy Joe, between you and Bob.
So cinch two, Barker is.
He's the one.
Yeah.
Here he comes. We'll find out. Back from the vacation, which one of you is first to the phone, Bob?
Hello, Bert. I would be.
That's it. You got it. Nice to talk to you. Thank you, Bob. Patty, what will Pat say?
Me.
It's you.
Me. Yes.
Definitely you.
Right, because
All
I
right.
have to call everyone and
All right.
get them back on the ball.
Here he comes. Pat, between you and Patty, which one of you would be the first one to use a telephone?
She don't like luxuries, but one luxury she'd fight for, that's the telephone.
You got it. That's it. Everybody got that. We split that $300 three-way. However, time is up, and the Blues hang on to win it big. We will come back in a moment, and we'll give the Blues section their money right after this message. That's it. And today, the Blues section with Pat and Patty win it. $475. We had $1,000. They will divide $1,475 big win. Thank you, everybody, for being with us. Great conversation. So long. I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.
This is Gene Woods speaking for Tattletale. A Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.